and injured in some way.
Yeah, and even if you don't know anybody in Winder, Georgia, you may not even know where Winder is. Cheryl and I are sitting here bringing you this story while our kids are in school. Your heart just goes out to this entire community because you send those babies out that door and on that bus thinking that they're going to come home. And it is just not a guarantee. We have at least 2 families who will not see their loved ones tonight, and 4 other families who may only see their loved ones in a hospital bed. The Sheriff's Department said they are working to confirm the extent of those injuries. We know 1 patient has been transported to Grady. One of our producers from home even told us that there is another level 1 trauma center in Northeast Georgia there in Gainesville. So the medical response is indeed at the peak of the situation. As we know, 4 people are being treated for their injuries. Sadly, tragically, 2 people are dead right now.
And we know that one of the injured has been taken to Grady Hospital. Grady confirming they've received 1 gunshot wound victim from Apalachee High School in Barrow County. We have a new statement to share from the Speaker of the House of Representatives, John Burns. He writes, "We're praying for the safety of the students, faculty, and staff at Apalachee High School and the law enforcement officers who are responding to the scene." Again, we can confirm through the governor and the FBI that local, state, and federal law enforcement are all on the scene at the high school you're looking at right now, all working together in a coordinated effort into what is now an investigation part of this response. We can confirm again, if you're just joining us, there is 1 suspect in custody. 1 suspect in custody. We have not gotten information on whether they think anyone else might be involved, but again, 1 person in custody.
And we continue to work here in the newsroom, seeing what information we can gather. We have reporters in the newsroom, our assignment managers trying to filter through all the information they can. And it's important for us to really be the eyes and ears of the community, because in the age of social media, so much information is going out. I did a little sweep through X, a sweep through TikTok, and people are, sharing the information, but we want to make sure that we bring you that information as it comes in the most accurate fashion possible. And with that, we can recount here. Apalachee High School, a call went out from the school 10:23 this morning of someone shooting. There was a shots fired call. Local law enforcement responded. When they got there, they encountered this situation. In the end, we can tell you that school was put on a hard lockdown. The students were taken out to the football field as the situation was investigated. 2 people are dead, 4 people are injured. On air, we've seen at least 2 medical helicopters leave away from this scene. Grady has 1 patient they have confirmed. 4 people are injured and 2 people are dead. As we look at this view from above of all of these students, a school of 1,900 students here. We don't want to zoom in too far, but we see another person being taken away from the scene on a stretcher. Not sure the extent, but you got to keep in mind here, they're outside. It's about 75 or so degrees right now. People may be having some sort of anxiety attack. We just don't know what's happening as we see this person being loaded onto an ambulance right now. This is stressful.
Yeah.
This is heart pounding.
Yeah.
You don't know if your life is still in danger. You're a child and you just encountered a shooting. We don't know what these kids saw.
No doubt.
We don't know what they heard. And so we might see more medical responses just in the aftermath here.
Yeah, I think that's such an important point, because I was thinking about, as we're learning new information, so are they.
Yeah.
And they're learning information about people that they know and care about. And even as it's just sinking in what's unfolded, we see another stretcher coming out. So there is that kind of initial response, and then it is like caring for all of these students, staff, on a lot of different levels, as this doesn't end today on in many ways in terms of investigation, but what a day like this, it sticks with you, it sticks with their loved ones, and it sticks with the community. Georgia
Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger just posting on X, praying for the students and staff of Apalachee High School today and the families of the victims. I'm thankful for our first responders responders and law enforcement personnel who risk their lives every day protecting Georgians. Please join me in prayer for the Apalachee High School community. Again, that's coming from Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. We are getting response of prayers coming from our elected officials as they are all in the loop. Governor Brian Kemp saying that he has also dispatched an endless amount of resources here to this area, as they have also enlisted the help of the FBI here, as one suspect has been taken into custody. The latest information coming out, confirmed by NBC News, that 2 people are dead and 4 people have been injured. We know Grady Hospital here in Atlanta, a level 1 trauma center that takes the most serious of patients, has received at least 1 victim here in this case.
This is a school of 1,900 students, and we just keep going back to just how widespread this impact is for every single person inside that school and every person who knows them. But all of us here watching this together, these are the moments we go through as a community together and change as a community forever as a result. You said it a few minutes ago, Aisha, and I just, felt that kind of pit in your stomach when you said there are 2 families tonight that will not see their loved ones.
I was just about to say, Cheryl, my stomach is in knots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this situation just sort of just rips your heart out to know it, when you send your kids to school, this is just not what you expect. And imagine the parents that can't get to their kids right now. The mom or dad who's traveling, they're not in town. The kids with the grandparents. You just don't know. When we see a school of 1,900 kids, how many kids are on that football field?
Right.
Can you think of all the different stories that are playing out for each of their families? What's the scenario? What about the kid who doesn't have anyone to call? You know what I mean? There are so many stories within this story.
Yeah, and I'm seeing some conversations online about spouses of teachers inside the school trying to reach loved ones who work in the school, whether they work in the cafeteria or in the classroom, whatever those positions. That's an entire school family and anyone connected to it trying to get that information. More and more information coming out. Again, that 1 suspect in custody. We're waiting to hear if there might be more to that, if there is an attempt to find anyone else. We did see a while ago officers with some urgency getting into cars and speeding off from the school. It looked like maybe they had gotten some information and were headed that way. That's information that we've not been able to confirm or that police are not willing to talk about now. But we have heard from so many different entities, whether it be the FBI, the Speaker of the House, the Governor Kemp, all talking about this coordinated investigative effort at this point, from the FBI down to local police in Winder, as this investigation moves forward. Meanwhile, confirmation from Grady Hospital, a level 1 trauma center in Atlanta, that it does have 1 gunshot wound that they are actively treating right now. Again, NBC confirming 4 injured in this shooting at Apalachee High School in Barrow County in Winder, and 2 people have died.
Just kind of setting the scene for you here as we see just this real focus here on the football field area. This is a safe haven right now. This is where those students are safe. But in the last 5 minutes, we just saw someone taken out on a stretcher. Even if you perceive the threat to be over, we have 1 suspect in custody. Think about what these are children, what they just experienced, what they just saw. This is a life-altering experience to hear the sound of gunshots in your school, a part of your school day. That call came in at 10:23 this morning, probably right before the first lunch period there. High school students eat a little bit earlier. And so they're just going on about their day, and all of a sudden this level of chaos and tragedy